The dumbest mistakes in space exploration. Since the space race of the 1960s between America and Russia, space exploration has always thrilled us. The rise of companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin have ensured that the baton has been passed on from governments to privately owned corporations. For all its illustrious history, though, the field of space exploration is not without its gaffes. In this video, we discuss the dumbest mistakes made in space exploration. Before we get into it, please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. We always make the best content which we are sure you wouldn't want to miss out on. Space exploration is important for a variety of reasons. Other than learning about our place in the universe, control of space provides military and technological advantages. To this end, many first world countries throw billions of dollars into their native space programs. Sometimes, though, the results aren't always flattering. Take the case of the Hubble Space Telescope. As one of the largest and most versatile telescopes ever sent to outer space, there was much excitement to see what sort of images it would produce during its launch in 1990. But then, when the telescope first started to send images back to Earth, it was apparent that there was something wrong. The images were unfocused and blurry, leading many to conclude that the $5 billion machine had been a total waste. What happened was that the telescope couldn't focus properly because the lens had been shaped wrong, leading to spherical aberrations. This required NASA to waste additional funds on fixes implemented by the Space Shuttle crew in January 1994, 4 years after the telescope was launched. The tiniest of errors was what reduced the Hubble Space Telescope from an exciting endeavor to a joke. Thankfully, though, NASA was able to correct its mistake even if it took a while. Today, the Hubble Space Telescope is one of the most useful resources the entire world has at its disposal. Its images reveal numerous wonders in outer space which we hardly knew existed. In spite of this turnaround story, not every mistake can be corrected. There's also the case of the Vanguard rocket in 1957. Intended to be the first launch vehicle of the United States used to place satellites into orbit, all did not go as planned. The Vanguard satellite was launched in a bit of a panic, which might have been the cause of its problems. Countries like the United States were spooked that the Soviet Union had gotten ahead of them and launched a satellite into space. There were fears that the Soviet Union would militarize their new technology and use it against the rest of the world. And so, the United States couldn't afford to be left behind. To get this project off the ground, though, there were a lot of technicalities which the US Space Administration had to get past. Unfortunately, though the US military had sufficient technology to launch the projects, they weren't allowed to be involved, lest the Russians took the launch as a sign of aggression and then responded in kind. Therefore, the Vanguard launch had to be a civilian project. Well, you can probably guess how this was a recipe for disaster. Funny enough, the actual Vanguard rocket was no larger than an orange, intended to send back simple telemetry signals on the state of its carrier rocket once outside the atmosphere. However, the rocket itself was a giant beast of faulty mechanics. December 6, 1957 was the launch date of the Vanguard. By then, the project had garnered a lot of hype since everyone knew it to be the United States of America's response to Sputnik. Therefore, many people, rivals and allies alike, were watching. America could hardly afford to fail. When the countdown for the Vanguard launch reached zero, the rocket managed to rise some 4 feet into the air. Then the whole thing crashed and crumbled. To date, it remains one of the most embarrassing moments in the US space program, especially since the appropriate technology was available but couldn't be used due to some bureaucratic technicalities. Sometimes, the mistakes and embarrassments don't come as quick as they did with Vanguard and Hubble. Sometimes it takes months for the systems engineers and scientists to find out their folly. This situation was the case with the NASA Mars Climate Orbiter. The satellite, intended to study the Martian climate and atmosphere, launched in December 1998. Throughout the satellite's 338 million kilometer journey to Mars, all went as planned. Scientists could not be more excited until the mission could officially begin. Then, in September 1999, all contact was suddenly lost with the satellite. Mission experts were at a loss for an explanation. In time, the analysis revealed that the spacecraft had burned up in the Mars atmosphere. But then, it shouldn't have ever gotten that close, should it? Well, the cause of this critical error is something that would make you shake your head. It turns out that NASA used metric units to measure the thrust intended to put the satellite into the correct orbit. However, the aerospace company that designed the aircraft, Lockheed, used English units to make their calculations. Because of this, $125 million of technology burned up in the Martian atmosphere. Because of a mixture of units. Isn't that absurd? These stories aside, there are many other tales of space exploratory mishaps. These range from mistakes that have led to tragedy and devastation, such as the Challenger mission, as well as myths such as the pen and pencil debacle between the Soviets and the Americans. The fact that a lot of these mistakes could have been easily avoided adds to our frustration with them. Nevertheless, the lesson to be learned is that space explorers took their mistakes in stride and managed to come back stronger. Space exploration will always be an exciting topic. As commercial aerospace companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin take over, they will come with their own unique brand of mistakes and successes. We will be here to shake our heads at them, and we will also be here to congratulate them as well. Coming to the end of this video, we hope you have taken some lessons away from these mistakes. If not, it's okay just to give a lighthearted laugh. However, is there another dumb and embarrassing mistake you know of which you think we should have included? Please let us know below. Before you go, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. These gestures go a long way to support the channel and make sure we keep coming at you with awesome content. Our next video is sure to be as informative as this one, and you wouldn't want to miss it. Till then, take care of yourself. Catch you later.